Yeah, we are already live. Yeah, okay, you're fishing. Hello, everyone. This is Scratch and Jack, your host for the Amazing Scale Modelers Across the Pond Hangout. Amazing Scale Modelers is a Google Plus community of scale modelers of all shapes and sizes, interests, genres, and skill levels who like to share their tips and tricks, learn more about their craft, and celebrate one another's scale modeling achievements. And tell me, these people do achieve some amazing stuff. Amazing Scale Modelers is perhaps the fastest growing and largest existing of its kind on the internet or on Google Plus, whichever you want to pick. I think Google is just the internet itself. Currently, we have 2,199. So tell your friends to push it over 2,200. We're just one away from that. I think we've got a very vibrant community. Not everybody, but most everybody posts and sell things and share things and jump for joy for things, and
we take all refugees.
Right. Yes, and we have joining us today some of those creeps. I'm sorry, people.
People. I'm a creep now, am I?
People, folks, brothers in arms, those sorts of things. So let's start with hi, Lou. How you doing, Lou? Well, you see, he appreciates Hangout so much that he's not even here. So we're moving on. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing fine there, Jack. Yeah, I've been getting a little bit more done. I think the legs are now pretty much doing.
Ooh, sexy legs. Look at that.
Yeah. I'm like yours, Jack.
Well, those look better than mine. Trust me.
So I got both the legs are now built.
Oh, cool.
And I've got the rear hips.
Oh, got a buttock too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big hippie.
Oh, that is so nice.
And since I'm at the stage, I'm now ready to mount this on the board. Before I can get that done, then I can start building the tail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I gotta get this mounted.
You were telling me this morning, Jim, that tail's going to be a heck of a job.
Yeah.
That's a really, really interesting kit that you've printed yourself and making here. And I'd just like to make a remark about the anatomy of what you're doing here. And I'm sure you've done some research as to how these bones fit together.
Yeah.
Is this representation of a T-Rex skeleton somewhat accurate in the sense that the ribs are so delicate looking?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yes, if I was to pull up, let's just see here. Who will give me a sec? And yeah, I got some reference material.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta wait for that. Okay. So if we go down.
Okay, so we got two loos. Oh, we had two loos.
Yeah.
Two loos are better than one.
Project.
And they don't melt in your hands. And they don't melt in your hands. So.
You're in a good mood today, Jack.
Well, yeah, it's Saturday morning. I'm enjoying myself. I had a nice long.
All right, now we go
nice long week, and I earned my keep, and now I'm happy to celebrate with you guys because I'm off and hockey, my favorite things.
Okay, this is the T-Rex from the Royal Ontario Museum.
Oh, wow.
So it gives you more of an idea of how...
In fact, I think that's the only complete T-Rex skeleton we've ever seen. I think. Don't quote me on that.
Wow. Wow. So it is that delicate. And
they are that delicate. Yeah.
You know, I'm no scientist or anything of that nature. I'm not a paleontologist or a kinesiologist or a physiologist. But when I've seen dead birds on the ground decayed, and birds have very delicate rib cages and breastbones.
Yeah.
And they've got these massive bones in comparison for their thighs and their well, some of the bones and the wings are somewhat large too.
Yeah.
In comparison. So for the notion that the scientists are saying birds are descendants of dinosaurs I would think is pretty accurate, and has a lot to do with their hip structure as well.
It's very much so. Yeah.
Certainly not reptilian nor mammalian. This is certainly something that's avian. These animals. But I find your model when you were showing it as the progress was going, and I thought, boy, those ribs are really delicate. So
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe it's all completely musculature that held this animal together.
Oh,
not the bones.
Oh,
He drops out. Everybody's dropping out. It's you and me, Heath. It's you and me.
well, it was 4, and now it's just 2.
Oh well, okay. Let's just wait a moment.
I pushed the wrong button.
Clearly.
But yeah, no, it is. A lot of it is the musculature that holds it together. But that's the same with most animals, actually.
Mm.
Well, the simians, these Homo sapiens that we are, I think we've got a pretty substantial bone structure in comparison to soft tissue.
Mm-hmm.
But what my thinking is that this thing is about 30, 40 feet tall.
Yeah.
And you would expect, like an elephant, which is not nearly as tall. Its bone structure seems to fit its size, being a mammal. Yeah. Being a mammal. But don't you find yourself learning more about the history, now in this case the paleontology of what you're doing? Do you find yourself finding, isn't that interesting fact?
Oh yeah, no, constantly. I mean, I find that true with any model that I'm doing, that to do the proper research, and you always are learning stuff about your subject all the time.
Oh, speaking of Liam, here he is.
Yeah, no, it's all.
Talking about dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think that's Liam.
But I find that's all part of the hobby. As far as when you're doing your subject, you're also doing the research, and you find out if it's a historical object, what the history and that is behind it. So you understand things more, even as you're going along, why certain things are the way they are.
Right.
And of course, every dinosaur.
I just thought there's a show and tell that I got to do too with that in that regard. But go on. So that's I find myself doing that too, particularly for someone who knows absolutely nothing about. I know a lot of things, but it's kind of a disjointed facts and figures. But whenever I talk to you guys about a subject, about a build, I seem to find, boy, isn't that interesting how things go. Like what you're representing in your build is the bone structure of a T-Rex, and thinking of it as, look at those teeth, look at that jaw, the powerful representation of what it did to survive, and yet its torso is delicate. I just find that very interesting. So yeah, very good job on the build, incidentally, and it looks like you're getting close to paint now, huh?
It's getting real close. Once I get this mounted and basically get the tail built, I'll be ready for paint. So we're starting to move along a lot more quickly than we were at the beginning of that too.
Really cool, really cool. So let's just move on as usual, as what I've been doing, going my Google left to right. How you doing, Heath?
I'm very well, thank you, Jack. And how are you, kind sir?
Oh, I'm doing smashing.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
I'm smashing. I'll be smashing pumpkins later on.
I have been a very busy boy today. I just didn't do one model. I did. Two models.
Two? Oh, you're kidding me.
We are going to start with World War II.
Well, can you make it short?
Of course I can make
The way you said, well, back in the beginning when I was born.
No. I have managed to put together my Mark 1 Spitfire.
Ooh, nice.
Not quite finished yet. I've got to do the camouflage to the body.
Ooh, look at that. That would be 72 scale?
It's a 72 scale. Very easy to do. Very easy. I found it easy to do. Yeah, I was actually I was talking to James this morning when I was doing this, and I lost a part, which is the main air intake there. And I was hoping to try and find it before tonight's show, but I couldn't find it. But I think it looks good without it. So yeah, this is a 172 Spitfire Mark 1. This is the one
I did a 72 scale Dauntless, one of those tester kits.
Yeah.
Is this a Airfix? Did you say, or is it a?
It's an Airfix, and I had no trouble putting the body together. Just get a few ball clips, put it together. Beautiful. So that one's one of my. I bought this last year, or maybe hang on, no, I bought this in 2013, and I managed to finish it now.
That's okay. That's okay.
Now,
that's why you have a stash.
Yes.
You know, looming over you. Yes. So we won't bring up the Airfix discussion we had 2 weeks ago, but good job.
And now we're going to move forward to the Korean War.
Okay. Oh, that'll be interesting. That would be an era when jets were starting to be used in warfare.
Yes, and I have one of the very early jets.
I
have, and I'll show you the box first, and then I'll show you the model.
Okay.
An F-86 North American Sabre.
86, yep. F-86.
A genuine MiG killer.
Yeah. I built the precursor to that. I think it's a F-86G, I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to look.
Here she is.
That's nice.
And a big thank you to the man on the extreme left for his help, Mr. Bob.
Extreme left. That's not to say he's a political left, but where he's at on our scale here. Bob.
Yes. Bob actually was a big help because Bob put up a video. He got the same model kit as I, and he actually put the model together. You see? Snap! So basically, Bob helped me with trying to get the fuselage together, and I managed to get it together. There was just one piece I had to get rid of, and that was the armor that was behind the injection seat.
Right.
Together. I'm gonna have to. The thing is, I've sanded back, or if you can check there, I've sanded back where the glue came in. Where the glue, it's a bit hard with silver when there's a light there. But I wanted to do this several ways. I wanted to do this I wanted to do the landing gear down. I tried it with the landing gear down, didn't work. So I thought, okay, we'll do it in flight mode. So there it is. I haven't put the canopy on yet because she's not quite finished. So there we go. There's the Korean War.
You got to do a Huey helicopter for the Vietnam War.
I'll be doing an F-4 Phantom for the Vietnam War.
Oh, F-4 Phantom? Oh, okay. I think I'd like to do a Huey and Apache. I did a Bell and it's downstairs in the basement. The Bell would be Korean War. That would be the MASH units used a Bell helicopter. It looked like a big insect with a big bubble head. It was all glass. That was all glass. So that's very interesting stuff doing armor.
And one more model. One more.
Okay.
One more. I managed to put together my fuselage to my 737.
737. Okay, got it. 737. Okay.
737. Unfortunately,
one of the first commercial passenger airliners. Yes.
Unfortunately, I lost the door.
Decompression. Yeah, there you go.
Decompression. Yeah, straight down you go.
Well, you can get a piece of styrene and try to make it up. No.
Looks like you might have lost the wings too.
As I said,
It's one of those crashes in LaGuardia. Yeah.
Oh no, Mandy! I've still got two more. Before I continue on with my cars and stuff like that, I've got two more planes to do. So hang on. We'll just move the display stand off to the top. And I've got a Cold War aircraft, MiG-29A Fulcrum. This is with the Polish Air Force, but I'm going to look around for some Russian decals. Because this sucker went up against these suckers went up against the F-14s, and absolutely creamed them. So that's the Cold War era. Another World War II era. This one I've been wanting for a while. Messerschmitt.
Messerschmitt.
109E. 148 scale. I'll tell you what it is.
With the Messerschmitt, the British one and the American one. Mustang would be the American one. The British one would have been a Spitfire. Together in one room at the Smithsonian, and they were impressive airplanes. Not that large, but they were certainly impressive, and you could see the designs were totally meant for combat.
And of
design
course,
fit purpose. Yeah.
Color paint guy.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. That's another thing too that was very common. If you're holding that up, the wings were pretty wide against the fuselage and narrower out to the further away from the fuselage. The Spitfire was more rounded in shape. The Mustang was pretty much kind of a cross between the two. They had the same characteristic, which gave it the nimbleness, the maneuverability, and the ability to create some pretty impressive G-forces for the pilot. So, that's all the stuff that I learned when I went to the Smithsonian. Was they had these little placards that you could read about about these warplanes.
Well, and actually, the Spitfire had one. The Spitfire had one thing. Well, actually, the Messerschmitt had one thing over the Spitfire. When the Spitfire was going up like that, it had to basically roll. The pilots had to roll the plane over so that they could have enough fuel to go straight up. The Messerschmitt didn't have to do that. Didn't have to roll. All that the pilot had to do was just pull the stick back, and up she went.
They probably had a fuel pump.
Yeah. And this is when they came in with the saying, beware of the Hun in the sun.
Yes, I read. It's really interesting that you bring that up. I was doing I love reading Wikipedia, and I come across some terminology the British used with the Germans, and Hun was one of them. And Huns
and so is Jerry.
Were the hordes that invaded and conquered Europe while the Romans were around. The Romans actually feared the Huns.
Yeah.
How the Germans were called Huns, which they were certainly not Huns in the genealogical historical sense, but it was interesting.
Well, actually, the Germans were called the Huns in World War I.
Yes.
Then when it came to World War II,
yes, because they were. Because if you look at a German soldier, a Prussian soldier from World War I, they had these helmets that had the spike on top, and the Huns wore a very similar headdress when they were invading Europe. So, yeah, good piece of history there.
I'm just remembering a Simpsons episode. You are now all welcome recreationists. Yeah. Oh. Down comes the spikes.
Moving on. Moving on. Let's say hello to Bob. How you doing, Bob?
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm sorry to wake you up.
Someone's been working all night.
He's just woke up, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't even had his coffee yet.
The 68 Firebird for the cancer awareness.
Ooh,
Nice.
lovely.
Nice. And why is it not pink?
Because this one is representing prostate cancer.
There you go. Thank you
Yeah.
for saying that.
Prostate.
Body. Got the body painted. I still got to polish it and then start putting the photo etch on it.
Mm-hmm.
Got the chassis painted. That's about as far as I got on that one. As I was saying earlier, we got the saber going.
How's yours turning out there, Bob?
That's ready for paint. I'm gonna do
Nice.
Did you
I'm gonna
put
do a video on the paint on it probably later today.
Did you put your rear foils on at 80 degrees?
And at 80 degrees, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I've noticed you haven't got your nose on yet.
Nope, because when I paint it, it's gonna be a different color.
Oh, what color are you painting yours?
So it'll be a different color metal.
Oh, right.
It's gonna be like aluminum, where the body's main fuselage is gonna be a polished aluminum.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they had that, didn't they?
And then I'll mask off and do some of the panels in different colors too. Then
Yeah.
while I was on Amazon getting that, I picked up its counterpart.
Hang on, you've already done a Big 15. Oh, you're doing another one.
Go with it. Yeah, it's taking a 72nd one. This is a Hobby Boss quick kit. It's only got about 25 or 30 pieces, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one you did was a lot more. The other MiG 15 you did was a more detailed.
Yeah, the 48 scale to me.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, my Michi Smith 109 is going to, my BF 109 is going to be a lot more detailed than this one. I'll tell you that. Because I just had a look at the fuselage and all that. This one's just a little. This Spitfire here is just a little 172 one. The 109 is a 148 scale, so it's probably going to be a bigger one again. Both the Sabre and the Spitfire are the same scale, and the Sabre absolutely dwarfs the Spit. Absolutely dwarfs it.
And I'm got 1 week to go till the big show, so I'm gonna try to get those 3 done to take to the show, along with a few others.
Mm-hmm. Which community is doing the cancer awareness build?
It's just an open.
Oh, is it?
We do it. It's done every year. Normally, it's done by Clint Roadhog 0822. But
Okay.
his grandson passed away right when it was ready to start. So Kenny May picked it up and ran with it this year.
Okay.
Normally it runs the month of October. With everything going on, we started it about the middle, and it runs to the end of November.
Right. Right.
But,
yeah. Well, I actually have something that would fit that build. I should finish it, but we'll talk about that later. But I do have something that would fit.
So you can just put in on YouTube the 2016 cancer awareness group build, and you'll get there's like 40.
2016 cancer awareness. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing it this year.
All right. Fair enough. There's something I can probably participate in, just by incidentally, but.
Yeah, you can build anything.
Anyway,
just make it.
Well, yeah.
And follow the cancer colors.
Yeah, and blue would be for prostate cancer, which statistically more men die from are affected by prostate cancer than women from breast cancer. So.
Yeah, like in gold represents cancer, and you obviously pink for breast cancer, and they have different their colors.
Right.
You can pretty much do whatever you want.
Right.
Whatever.
Right. Now, I wonder what happened to the bucket challenge. That was actually quite interesting. And my favorite bucket challenge was Patrick Stewart's. That was the best one. So YouTube, if you want to do YouTube, do Patrick Stewart bucket challenge, and you'll see what he did. He was pretty smart about it too. So, would that be it there, Bob?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, moving on. How you doing, Lou?
Well, I'm still doing hand-to-hand combat with my microphone, so when I cut out, and I will, please forgive me.
Well, that's something for you to do in retirement to fix that.
At least I found one button that I can get to keep a constant monitor on it, and just click the button again to restart it. So hopefully it won't cut out too much.
Okay.
Working on Excelsior this week.
Yes, I just saw a video. Lou, it's looking very nice.
And I've got
no picture.
It's okay. I'm gonna try to share what he's got. Oh, let's silence that.
And I'm working on. Well, I'm not working on. I just got this. I just got this test. I just got this test shot of the Prius this week. Okay, I think I'm working. And so I'm putting over the parts on this. But other than that and the room, that's pretty much taken up my time.
All right, so here, present to everyone. You got the video running here. You got the masks going on.
How'd you get video?
How's it look? How does the video work with you guys?
Fine at this end.
Fine to me.
Yep.
Let's see if this does anything, huh?
Full screen. Yep.
Although I can't hear anything, but I can see it.
Well, yeah, I turned the volume off. I think, though, this is pretty much self-explanatory what Lou does, and he does such a good job of doing masking for the Aztecs here. This Aztecing is extraordinarily fine in sense that it's not a bold Aztec. It's to scale. It's small stuff.
It's tiny, tiny, tiny.
Yeah.
Jack, I was so pleased to see you put the penguin up there.
Well, yeah, I put covers the community of our members, and I just thought, well, you haven't been on, so I thought I'd use and it happened to be the right size in pixels, so it has to be a large pixel photo to be able to put it up. So, yeah, and it's one of the few photographs that you actually post. You post mostly videos.
Yeah, I'm bad at posting photos.
So let's just skip a little more forward on this. See what we already see what you're doing there. Oh, look at that! Isn't that incredible? You're retired. You need to be nimble with your fingers. Who knows how much longer you'll be able to do this?
Thank you for that, Jack. I do appreciate that.
You're more than welcome.
So, you know,
wow.
That looks so tedious.
Wow. Oh, it is. It is tedious, but you know something? I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, to me, fishing is tedious.
Yeah.
Is this for Simon's build as well, Lou, or is it just a coincidence?
This is for me.
Right.
Whether Simon wants to use them, that's great.
Yeah.
Now this one's for me. I'm going to send this to Simon, but these ones are mine.
Wow, look at that.
I don't know if he'll use them.
Probably not.
So it's mirror images between the two rows there, columns, or if you want to put it that way.
Yes, they are positive and negatives of each other.
Positive and negatives, yeah. And basically, with this one strip that you have, it looks like you're covering 2 of these rows at the same time.
That is correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that any different, Lou? Is that any different to the Refit Enterprise Aztecs, or is it just smaller? Is it the same shape, or is it just smaller?
It's just smaller, and the shapes are similar, but they're not quite the same. There's a basic Aztec shape, but it's different for each ship pretty much because the hull sections are different.
Can you speak to what you've already painted it as? Because on this, you're masking to preserve what's underneath there. We have a sample right there in that pie slice.
Yes.
What exactly is that? Is that a masking setup as well? Right there to the, I guess it'll be a left of your fingers there, where there's no masks.
That's part of the generic set.
Yeah. Oh, really?
He just added the.
Okay.
To add some texture.
There's a generic pattern also in the set that you can use just to lay down texture.
Oh, okay.
And then you can use the Aztec shapes for a more defined shape.
Okay. Okay.
Now you're not lighting.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. The generic one. Okay. Okay. All right, that will be actually quite interesting. That's going to be quite interesting. And so you're going to be doing the iridescence with this.
I'm going to try. Come on. I'm going to try to do Comart makes an iridescent. That is basically a one color. It's not one of those flip-flop, 4 or 5 different iridescent colors. Right. It's just to add some little sheen here and there.
Okay.
Here's the beauty shot.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Now, if I remember correctly, Lou, you said you're not lighting this one.
No, not lighting.
Wow, look at that. Sharp lines.
Not drilling out the windows, not lighting.
It's just the plain old Excelsior.
So let's skip up a little further.
Oh, look at that. The
Very
beauty
nice.
shot.
Very cool.
I call that the beauty shot.
So now we see what you were applying. Now we're seeing the flip side of that. You've removed it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're as sloppy as I am around your table there. But where you're actually holding the model is pristine, so that you don't mess it up. Nice.
Was it easy to take it off, Lou?
Oh my gosh!
What was harder?
Oh my God! Look at that mug.
Ah! What was easier, Lou? Was it the Aztecing was easier, or removing them was easier? And we seem to have lost him.
He froze.
Yeah, he's probably got he's having some trouble there. But really awesome. What do you think, guys? Would that be something you would do?
Oh, hello, here she is.
Lou actually relayed to me some masks for the 350 NX-01. One of these days, that'll probably be my first, being that the Aztec masks are larger. I think that will be pretty good for my nimble, shaky fingers. So that, yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. But I think using a generic mask and then his masks really create a pretty cool effect. So very good job there, Mr. Lou.
You guys did this week too.
Yeah, and if you can, I don't know, this is just up to you. If you can make a couple of stills of it so that, we see the details on it. Your camera work is really good, but it still has, we can really look at the close up as to what it should look like, and maybe from a
Jack,
distance.
you're breaking up. You're doing the $6 Million Man here. You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Well, am I? How about other people? Am I breaking up?
No, you seem fine to me. Yeah.
I think it's low.
I can see. You're fine to me, Jack.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to someone who I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm going to beat with a wet noodle. How you doing, Liam?
I'm fine, thank you, gentlemen. If I need abuse, I know where to come.
Yes, it's not just your wife. We take over for her when she's not around.
I'll have no one say anything bad about my wife, because that's part of the reason why I haven't been here for some of the meetings.
That's fine.
I've been very busy between lots of Star Trek events. As you know, I'm a big fan, and originally I was supposed to go to Vegas, and then I had to cancel Vegas due to health reasons and so on. But then there was a hangout in early September that I thought I was going to be there. On the Tuesday, I thought I was going to be there. But on Friday, I was in New York. So, and then the whole point of it being, I shall show you why I was in New York.
He went to the Star Trek 50th convention, didn't you, Liam?
Shh. Let's give me a chance. Right, so what did it say? So, right, so that was the main reason for being in New York. Can you see that?
Yes.
Oh, you got to see the Galileo.
Oh, and I was by myself that day. I think it's funny, since next week, the week after, it's at the USS Intrepid in New York, with the aircraft carrier, and that's directly beside the Enterprise shuttle.
I don't know, Liam. That picture looks suspiciously green screened.
No way. That made my year. Never mind my decade. And then on top of that, then as if that wasn't bad enough, then that was a weekend of joy in New York with about 20,000 Star Trek fans. And then in October, same problem. It coincided with one of the hangouts, so I ended up going to Birmingham to the Star Trek.
I remember seeing this photo.
Depending on how many people know who he is.
Liam, just a wee little pickup.
Yeah.
It's this. What Mr. Nimoy is doing. It's not that.
Liam, it's thumbs out. Thumbs out, Liam.
There is an argument. There is an argument about that, but I won't go into it here because it would take too long.
The argument is you're wrong. It's thumbs out.
Well, okay, I won't argue, but there we go. And then I can do it both ways. It's not a problem. But
the right hand is a little shaky for me, but
it was probably excitement on the day, and then the whole big thing about Star Trek, of course, is cosplay. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at the red shirt.
Nice.
Working in the insane asylum.
I have a soft spot for the unusual uniforms.
Yes, and no one else had it. No one else had it, Lou, and I got remarked on all day long.
Yeah.
What is that?
You got to be crazy to wear that.
No, you don't. You need to be a fan. Very. It's actually very comfortable.
You got to be crazy.
It was in 2 episodes, Lou. Or Heath, 2 different episodes. Oh, sugar and English. You're going to embarrass me.
I think one's the menagerie.
Yeah,
no. That's
the perfect uniform to be free balling. Yeah.
And then so that was the event. That was for Star Trek Europe.
That's the guy you want to meet at the bar.
Yeah. And then on top of that, then I had to do. I was on a panel doing cosplay. I was one of the members of the panel.
Oh,
with
nice.
The Trekkie girls. Anyone who knows Star Trek in the UK and Europe knows the Trekkie girls. The 3 girls there are fanatics about Star Trek, and basically they do blogs and tweets and all sorts of things. And the person in the middle is a drag queen called Misty Chance.
Misty
Chance. His hobby is Star Trek cosplay, but of female characters. That's Marta from Star Trek.
Yes.
6.
Marta from Star Trek 6.
6, I beg your pardon. That's £700 worth of costume. But that's the reason. And then I'm wearing a TOS captain's uniform. I'll just stop sharing. But that's my excuse. Is it acceptable?
It's acceptable.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is acceptable. But that's acceptable. You just made us all envious. But somebody had to hold down the fort. It wasn't going to be you.
Now, Liam, the next time, Liam, the next time you leave like that, we want to see a note.
And a note from your doctor. And a note from your doctor. So
the note will say, "Piss off, got to enjoy myself." So no, the two completely different events. The New York event done in a very different way from the European one. So, but I recommend that if you're a fan and there's a convention near you at all, go to it and cosplay. Everyone thinks, "Oh God, no, I'm not going to dress up and all this business," but far more people are doing it these days, and far more people are enjoying it and coming up with the idea that's different. That's the one that everyone is impressed with, and everyone asks for your photograph. I'll show you one more picture, which is probably the most.
Oh, here we go. He's gonna make us all jealous again.
Right. No. This is how much you can go through. Well, all right. I'll do that one. This is
Oh yes.
Oh my God, he's on the cat. Holy hell, it's Captain Crunch.
Yeah. So there's that one, but that's not the one. To show you what you can do with cosplay.
That's the one, but not the
one. Bear with me 1 second. Nearly there. Sorry about this. There we go. This is cosplay. Do you have Build-A-Bear in the States? You do. Do Build-A-Bear? Know that Build-A-Bear, where you go and build you make your own little toy bear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
One of the promotions that came out this year was for Star Trek's 50th anniversary. So one of the guys at the European convention thought, that's an idea. This is what he did.
There you go. Yep. Here in Pittsburgh, we host the Anthrocon, the anthropomorphic community, and it's interesting because if you don't have if you're an Anthrocon fan,
is that a polite way of saying furry?
Yeah.
The furries in short, the furries. And if anything, you have to have a tail, and somebody wanted to share their tail with me, and I couldn't share their tail with me, so. Double entendre. No, it's actually those guys. Those folks are hilarious. They're so much fun to party with, and particularly if you're tying one on and doing drugs, they're absolutely a lot of fun. Not that I advocate drug taking or getting drunk, but cosplay people. I have no doubt that they're going to be very similar. There you go. You see.
Yeah.
Look at the one in the red. The woman in red. She's like, oh my God.
If you look.
I love the woman in the second row who could not care less.
Top right center.
Top right section.
Top right section at the very back. Can you see where my arrow is moving?
Yeah, there he is.
Way back there. Okay.
So that is 1,167 people beating the world record for most people dressed in Star Trek costume. That's my third time winning the record.
There you go.
I have always, believe it or not, Liam, I have, as much as I'm next gen, sorry, I have always wanted a TOS uniform. I love the.
I'll send you a link, Heath, for a guy in Singapore who makes them. I mean, the one I'm wearing there is from Singapore. It's only about £45.
I like to toss my uniform too. So moving on.
Yes, sorry. Changing subject.
Hi. How you doing, Wayne?
Hi guys. How's everyone?
Oh, well, actually, we're probably kind of punchy this morning. So yeah.
You caught me out with the time difference. Our clocks went back last week, and I thought it was 1 o'clock, and then I looked at the computer. I wouldn't have known you're starting at 12 at our time.
We're having our clock change tonight, so.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I only got in as soon as you just started up, so. That's
why just before you start, Wayne. That's why when I posted this, today it's Eastern Daylight Time, and tomorrow is when I did the announcement. Tomorrow is Eastern Standard Time. So if you look at the acronym, you'll that's tricky with these time changes. Okay, going on, moving. Wayne, sorry, I digress.
So you can see what I'm working on, the British Matilda Mark III, which is for the M build on Facebook. which is almost 99% done. I just got to do some dusting effects for it. Then part 2 will be the diorama for it, which will start later on, currently. So there's that. There's the plan for Richard for the Tamiya bit Facebook group build. Just timing at the minute. It's that time of the season where we start shutting everything down, so I've got to get everything, help that shut down one arcade and then start cleaning everything.
Grease all the rollers.
Yes.
Yeah. Start just basically clean, get the machines out, clean all behind them. You find all sorts behind there. But it's also a week. Next week it'll be the Telford Mall show, which will be fun. Well, it's having a heart attack now about it. So that's what I've been working on, and hopefully I'm going to be starting this as soon as I get those 2 molds finished with Bradley. Which will be very, very interesting because I got the interior kit as well for it. It's fun. But also, last Saturday I went to see the Lancaster East Kirkby for its nighttime taxi.
Oh, just Jane? Yeah.
Yeah, she was out and about, and if it's all right with everyone, I'll just show some pictures of it.
Yeah, please.
Please be aware, this is at night time. There's very little, there's not a lot of lights. Just
It's okay. We'll put our night goggles on.
It's okay. Yeah.
We'll put our night goggles on. I think it'll work. But I have a night monocle.
What? That's a dark picture.
Yeah, my camera's not. But I think that's the best picture I got out of that.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm actually seeing a black screen.
Picture. Yeah. It's a picture of a black bear eating black licorice at night.
Yeah.
No, it's a cow eating grass. Where's the grass? The cow ate it. Where's the cow? He's not going to stick around. There's no grass.
Sorry, I know these are not the best pictures.
As the photographer would say, a black cat in a coal hole. No luck.
Walt Disney presents the black.
Yeah, no luck. So it's not coming through, Wayne.
Into it.
Nope.
Right.
Let's see what Liam's doing here.
Extreme close-up.
Oh, you are hanging out with the sexy ladies now, aren't you? What does your wife have to say about that? Is that your screenshot?
Down.
The only picture she queried.
Sorry, Wayne, it's not happening.
I don't know what the hell's going on with Google.
Google.
Well, you know what? It's just like everything. Anything that goes wrong, blame Google. That's saying
I'm completely happy with blaming Google.
Well, you know, just keep trying, and I'm going to. I have a lot to share. Amazing! I have a lot to share for the past several weeks. I have not had nothing to share because.
Well, share it, Sonny.
I am feeling so much better. I have so much more energy. So thank you, doctor, whoever treated me for this. So now I'm going to screen share. You know what? I actually shared this on our community. So I'm just going to screen share it anyway. Again, this is not complete. I have the details to put on. So this I decided from what Bob was saying for cancer awareness. It can't be any bluer than this. Hold on a second. Okay, here. Okay. I got decals to put on, still in a hood. I just took these eye level shots. There's a lot of flaws in the paint, as you probably can see, but I'm pretty proud of those tail lights. I front and back. The black separator is in front. They are grooves, and the clear part would be raised, but the back side is flat, and that's where I applied the paint for the taillights. And so there's a few details I still need to do, like the rear view mirrors and the door handle, but this and decals, of course. So this is what I have got to the point where I can show something up. In fact, I promised myself that I wouldn't share it with anybody, but I think it was okay to share. I don't think I still have a good. Still, my reputation has not been harmed by this build. Not that I have one.
Not at all.
But what's stupidly enough, I'm like, I don't want to do another car. But what do I end up doing? But start on a 16 scale, and I showed my friends here. Can you tell me what engine this is? Blue in there, so it must be Ford. And somebody said, yes, it's a Mustang, a 65 Mustang. I have I think a 50-year anniversary kit, 16 scale. I am going to light this kit. This is going to be a long, drawn out build. And just recently, I've gotten these cords, black cords, to wire it up to the distributor, which is like on top there. Let's see, you're gonna focus. Let me focus here. I took some liberty on the colors here, but I thought some things should look metallic, like the transmission. And on the other side is the axis box panel to get in there. So I started on this, and Jim gave me some clues as to how to wire this up using piano wire. If you're an RC person, you know what a piano wire is. It's just a thin, rigid wire that you could use to control your flaps, your steering, or whatever it is that you're doing in RC. So he suggested to use little bits of these piano wires to connect it to the engine, because there are little nubs coming out, but it doesn't. The cords don't fit over those nubs. So now, the diorama build through December, I had to think of what I'm going to do, and since I have all this energy, and I haven't done anything in a long time, and I am going to do Star Trek.
Ooh.
As a diorama. I haven't done a Star Trek build in forever and a day.
Well, the last time you were doing it, you were doing a Voyager.
Well, I cut the windows out for the Voyager. It's not. It was. I had a little intention to continue with that build after, because cutting the windows is a pain in the butt. The window, and still I have to go over the windows and shape them and make them look pretty. So when it comes to a Voyager build, it's going to be a lot of work, particularly the fact that I'm lighting it. So I don't want to get involved with that just now. And this is my build with this is going to be lit too, but the lighting on this is somewhat nominal. It's not going to be that terrifically a lot of lighting with this. What I want to do with this is imitate this paint, work on my paint skills, and this would be the perfect build for that. And the diorama that I'm choosing to do would be straight out of, here's a nice build right here, very nicely lit, is right out of, what's that?
Star Trek 3?
No, this would be Voyage Home. This is the diorama I want to build.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I want to do this out of Star Trek 3. I think the kit will allow me to do this, or at least, I'll show you the picture momentarily, the box. But this is what I'd like to do.
Either 3 ways.
And scratch build the trawler there. And of course, there's going to be water effects, which I've never, ever, ever done. So this would also classes out of your comfort zone too, which we start in January. But this is the kit. This is the flight kit. And if you see that there's a clear disc go through, and that's how it's mounted. I think the position of the wings is conducive to do this build. So we'll see, because right now I'm just dry fitting parts, because if I'm lighting this, I got to put fiber optics throughout this to light it. And fiber optics offer a subtler way to light the kit than having the LEDs themselves show.
Or
so,
LED strips.
What's that? Well, LED strips. Well, yeah. Strips. Well, LED strips, but I'm talking about individual LEDs for like running lights, because there are running lights on this ship. There are running lights on it.
When I did it, Jack, I used optical fiber for the running lights, but the torpedo tube was done with a single LED.
Yes.
But the engine then was that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. A little Halloween flashing light that cost me something like a pound. So, but that's.
Yes, I see your point, and right where the torpedo tube is on this, the way it's showing. There's a lot of, these are going, these running lights here might be direct LEDs, but I'd like to tone it, because you know what, when you show the LED light is so sharp and so clean, it's a pain in the butt to tone it down, and the only way I can think of is sending the light through the fiber optic, and that seems to do a pretty good job. But the torpedo tube on this is not lit. And the part that comes with the kit is clear, allowing it to be lit. What I'm going to attempt to do is light this ring instead. That's what I attempt to do on this. And when I looked at the part itself, it's a very, it's going to be, this would be a perfect time to find a photo etch for this. Photo etch would be perfect. But I'm going to attempt to cut the plastic to look like this. And that's.
I gotta go, guys. I'm getting tired.
Okay, see ya. It was nice.
See you.
Right.
See you Monday.
Good night.
Good night. So this would be a perfect time to see if there's anything in the range of photo etch for this kit. But that's going to be my next build, the diorama build. I'm choosing not to use any of the models like I have to do. Like I was going to do the Ducati as a garage that the owner is painting the body parts. But that's what I plan on doing in the next couple of months. Now the Halloween build is over. There have been a few people who have posted things that are distinctly Halloween. So go to if you're watching this, go to our community on Google Plus, Amazing Skill Modelers, and check it out. So some people did post some Halloween stuff. Like Bob, he did the mummy, and we went extensively a couple of weeks ago talking about the paint job on that.
There's
and
no paint
how.
What's
that?
It was all done with Sharpie markers, metallic markers.
Oh, really? Sharpie markers, not even paint. Well, more power to you, because we were remarking, I was remarking anyway, that your paint style is very distinct and actually very good. And we compared it to the Impressionists of years ago, like Monet was an Impressionist painter, and sometimes even Van Gogh was. And there it is. And yeah, I certainly enjoy your paint, Bob. So whatever it is that you did a fine job.
Oh, thank you.
You said one time several months ago that you don't like your figures, the way you paint them.
I don't like to do the faces.
Don't you believe it? You're perfect. You're good. You're really good at it. So, yeah, this is a lighting job, pretty much how I'd like to do it. Maybe for the movie diorama, maybe a little brighter for the movie diorama, but yeah, this is definitely toned down.
That's mine from, that was about 3 years ago, so.
Yeah, this is definitely toned down.
Although I got,
there you go.
To get that ring, I had to drill out each of the individual holes, which was a nightmare on the part. If you look at the part, you'll see what I mean.
Yep, I saw the part already. It is going to, and what's even worse about that is that it's thick plastic there. It's pretty decently thick.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's I like the paint there. I like your paint on this. So there's a lot of variations of this that you can really do it.
Make it really dirty at the end. I mean, at that stage it was really clean, but then the whole thing was just dirtied up and dirtied up and dirtied up, and it's improved at no end. So
yeah, I went online to check out some Vallejo paints, and the website that I buy it from has now, Vallejo's make like oily paint, water streaks, oily, greasy paints that are probably translucent, of course, so you can make things look pretty. And also rust. They now have a rust paint.
Yeah, I mean, the base coat on that was actually rust for all of the plates on the wings. They were all rust painted first before, and then the rust technique, or the I think made the hairspray technique to let all the stuff shine through. So
what happened? My screen just went dark. There we go. Got that back. Let's see. I have the photograph here that I want to attempt. So really expanding my presentation here. Close up. So there's a lot of rust included in this. I think they used a paint to do this. Not necessarily rust because of the scale of the model.
They probably used powders in there.
Powders, yeah. Powders to do this. But I can see and here maybe some grease and where the hinges are. Some grease showing. Somebody made the remark there's this thread, but apparently it looks like a conduit of some sort. But yeah, this is pretty much in the direction I want to go in. But with this, the model doesn't look quite like this as far as detail is concerned with this ring. But I would love to be able to find some photo etch for this, because photo etch would work absolutely perfectly for this application.
The thing I always wondered was, how did the torpedo come out through that hole when there was stuff in front of it? But yeah.
Oh, well, this component here, the top is the bridge. It's probably about 30 or 40 feet wide. The pipe going around here that is in this rust color, that's probably about the height of a 6-foot man. So this is not a very large ship. It's meant to be small, agile, and have some armaments that. But yeah, the torpedo tube actually goes back into the main body here on the neck.
Yeah.
The model kit doesn't have that. And Jay did fabricate something to represent that torpedo tube. So the torpedo tube actually goes all the way into the main body of the ship, into the cargo base. And then, of course, above it is a tube as a walkway. I don't think I have any pictures that show this.
Yeah.
It was maybe right here. So this would be the torpedo tube right here. Yes, the torpedo tube is being represented in these pictures, but are not in the kit. So I would have to fabricate.
Synthesize it, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think that would be so difficult. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting build. There's going to be some scratch building involved, which is going to be a lot of fun because I haven't scratch built hardly anything. So yeah, all right. how's that, guys? Anything else to bring up?
I think that's pretty much it.
You were saying about out of your comfort zone build for January. That's what the plan is.
That is the plan. Right now, we're having a diorama through Christmas because Christmas displays are dioramic in nature because, you know, the nativity scene, Santa Claus workshop. So I think, you know, doing a model kit, if one that's already been built, you can do a diorama around it, or you can start with what I have with the model kit and go around it. So diorama for the holidays. And I'd like to also mention that in 2 weeks, let me give me a calendar out here. 2 weeks is the 19th of November. That will be the Saturday and Sunday prior to American Thanksgiving. And we're going to have a show, just as, you know, we're going to have a show like we're having now and on Sunday. But after the Sunday show, starting on the 25th, that is a Friday. So Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern, we're going to start our 4th annual 48-hour hangout. It is not a broadcast hangout. I don't want to put YouTube through that, having 48 hours of film to be posted. But it is basically a meet and greet. If you have never been on a show, if you're watching as this a recorded show and wanted to hang out with us or with each other, we'll keep it open so the entire world can tune in at any given point and meet. And I'm going to have the whole week off on that for my holiday, my vacation, and I hope to be able to try. There was only one time I stayed up 24 hours, and I certainly got pretty punchy. I didn't have to get any alcohol. But I'm going to put my medication to the test and see if I can stay up for the majority of that 48 hours and meet everybody. And there's a lot of people who don't want to do the broadcast hangouts, but do want to hang out. This is your opportunity. Coming up the Friday, on Black Friday, as we call it in America, at 8 a.m., stop by and hang out with us. And it's going to be a fun time. The last times we've done it, there's been a lot of good times, a lot of laughs, a lot of things, a lot of world problems were solved. Us modelers have nothing else better to think of because, you know, when you're modeling, your mind has a tendency to wander in places that you didn't expect. But yeah, share your passions aside from modeling. This is a great get together. And the first year we stayed up for like 60 hours, not even 48 hours.
Yeah. And after next week, you might all need cheering up anyhow.
Might what?
Need cheering up anyhow.
Cheering up.
Cheering up.
He's talking about the after-election blues.
Yeah. I never mentioned that E word.
Oh, well, that's coming up on Tuesday, and I had a discussion with my my philosophical political counterpart, Mike Bassford, and he straightened me out because I was going to vote for one of the two, and straightened my ass out. And certainly it wasn't going to be Hillary. Oh, absolutely not. I just hope she dies and rots. I don't care about it.
You would rather have a misogynistic idiot then? Okay, right, okay.
Well, no, I'm not misogynistic. I don't care if she's a woman, but I just think she's got too much baggage. So does the other guy.
I'm on about the opposition, the other candidate, which is the whole thing about the election seems to be, how could 350 million people, that's the best you could do?
Well, you know, the United States is a two-party system politically, but there are other parties. In fact, I have to appreciate this morning when I got up, when I eat my bowl of cereal, I watched the local news. And the local news here goes from like 5 a.m. to like 7, and then again 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So they do a lot of local reporting. And my local channel did show the other 3 candidates that are on the ballot, not the other 2, the major 2. There's 3 others. So they did a good job in representing these folks, telling what they're about, and probably about a 3-minute report. So I have to really kudos to my local station for doing that. I wish it would be done nationally, because Americans all are about choice, and quite frankly, this election time we don't have much of anything. But if you look at a third party, you'll see that there are choices. So yeah, if you vote for a third party, don't think you're throwing your vote away. The only vote that's thrown away is the one that's not casted. So that's remember that. If you don't vote, you have no reason to complain and no substantiation to complain. But if you vote a third party that doesn't win, you can complain about everybody. So I think it's important. I think the world is really watching. Isn't that right, Liam? Because at least Randall is saying.
From a European perspective, we have enough problems with Brexit at the minute, and the way it's affected the pound. I mean, it's atrocious here. I was very lucky when I was in New York. It was just before the fall of the value, but it's just we look at America at the present time, and I know Mrs. Clinton is not a perfect candidate, but we look at Trump and we are scared. That is not an exaggeration. We are scared.
I could understand why, but remember that the amount of emphasis even Americans place on the White House is, I think, misplaced, because the body of government that runs this country is actually Congress. It's really not the president. The president provides the wavelength in which they operate under. So the people who collect taxes, the people who spend it is Congress. It is not the president. So don't you worry. Whoever candidate is elected, it's going to be same old business. Nothing's going to change. But I think if it's a third-party candidate that wins, which is a long shot, but if it's any one of the third-party candidates, then you will see change. You will not see change with these two parties. So just remember that. Don't be so scared, because as one Brit told me, America is a young country and it's acting like a child. And what do you do with children? You just let them act out and they'll wear themselves out. So don't you worry about Trump. That's not going to be a problem. And I'm more concerned about, quite frankly, Hillary, because of her corrupted ties. So and Trump doesn't have any corrupted ties. That's why he's so scary. We don't know what he's about. But anyway, enough about politics. But if you're an American watching this, go out to vote. Don't waste it and not vote. I see we lost Lou.
Yeah.
Lou doesn't like this stuff. Lou doesn't like this stuff, and I apologize, Lou. But go out.
I apologize too.
That's okay. Just go out and do. Us modelers are certainly opinionated, and on a 48-hour hangout, we'll get to watch exactly where we stand on the issues.
Yeah.
Trust me. Those who know me that are here, I am holding back. So it is important to do these things. Brexit, you know what my comment for Brexit is? You're going through a hard time right now, but it's well worth it. If you're going to go to a better place, it's worth the sacrifice.
It ain't the better place.
That's how I
definitely
that's what you did after World War II, or during World War II. Europe, if anybody, has sacrificed the most, both in lives and in material goods. So do it again, you'll be fine. That's my advice. Anyway, this is Scratch and Jack, your host for Amazing Scale Modelers Across the Pond Hangout. Tomorrow we're going to have the Sunday Hangout. Possibly we're going to talk less about politics and more about models. But I have not been able to share the community builds, but tomorrow we will be sharing some community posts. We had a lot of models today too, just the same. And keep in mind, build your models, and it's going to be the diorama up till through Christmas. Next year being in January, you'll be out of your comfort zone build, which means you're going to build something that you've never done before. And also, again, I can't stress enough, this 48-hour hangout is an awesome thing. So please join in at any given point in time. In 2 weeks, we're going to do Across the Pond again. And until then, happy modeling, everyone, and have fun.
Bye.
Good night.